Welcome to the Woods, everybody, for the launch of this publication, edited by myself, Sylvia Cullen. The Book of Tomnafinnoge is a collection of new writing inspired by the oak forest, along with a series of photographs taking us on a visual journey through the woodland. The anthology is funded by an Arts Council Literature Project Award, with additional funding from the Courthouse Arts Centre, Tinnahealy. We have two writers with us who will each read an extract from their work for you. First of all, we have Rhys Davis reading from his story, Two Grumpy Old Sods.
The two men had made it to the middle of the bridge that crossed the River Derry. They rested their arms on the wooden railings on each side of the bridge. The water bubbled and churned underneath them, creating a faint gurgling noise. The sunlight shone on the water, making the more transparent areas have a strange wave-like reflections on the smooth-stoned riverbed. The river weed flowed in the same direction as the current, making it look like long silky hair in the wind. The overhanging branches of the trees on the bank were almost skimming the surface of the water with their leaves. It was very peaceful and tranquil at the bridge. Well, it was until... "Joseph, Mary, Mother of Jesus, that's some tree," Jimmy exclaimed. "Be the Lord, you're right. Must be at least 15 to 20 metres tall." They stood there at the base looking up at the huge tree. Its needles rustled in the wind, and one of its many branches was hanging loosely by a bit of very determined, unsnapped wood. Its bark almost looked like giant scales, brownish red in colour. Its mighty trunk stood proudly in place because it knew it had the best view in the woods. Ferns and grass crowded around the roots as if bowing to their king. But what type of tree was it?
Thanks very much, Rhys. And now we'll have Alison Maguire reading from her story, Cernunnos.
She checked her tracker for a gauge and began to sprint. This was better. Her movements were smoother, feeling more skillful, sharper. Her pace increased to move into the space created by her new enthusiasm, but the frigid air held her back still. Her nose, lips and chin had lost all sensation as she sucked cold air into her lungs. She rounded a corner, calculating that she had about 750 metres to go to the car park, and there he was, only 50 yards from her, taking up the breadth of the pathway. The force of her stopping sends her left foot skidding along the gravel, her right leg bending underneath her to catch her fall, and she freezes in this position. He startles and mirrors, his right hoof striking out sideways, his hind legs buckling under slightly, as though preparing to spring away. She's loath to move in case she frightens him away because, looking at him now, she wants more time to take him in completely. She has a sense that, were she the one to scare him off, she would have committed some transgression. Against what or whom, though, remains unclear. Eventually, she has to move, and she does so slowly, drawing her left foot back under her and easing herself up straight. She stares at him as he appears to do the same. He steadies his weight between his two front legs. There's a visible relaxation, an uncoiling in his hindquarters. Her breathing is slower now, and she's immediately aware of the still quietude without the sounds of her running. It is silent for many moments. Then, somewhere in the woods behind her, a pheasant bleats a throaty complaint, and beyond that, the soft thrum of a car engine gingerly taking in the frozen road. Then the hush settles back in around the two of them, each regarding the other. She draws a deep breath as her heart rate slows even further, and she lets out a sigh which clouds and curls in the air between them. His head drops a fraction and he coughs. His breath billows and drifts, and she sees the glisten of his dewy nose through it.
Thanks very much, Alison. And now, to launch the book, we'll have a few words from our guest speaker, Liam O'Mwainley.
Hello. Camero bítach dom a bheith builteach le slánú na cuile. It was great for me to be a part of the saving of the forest. A beautiful place, a beautiful world of existence between the mosses, the fungus, the insects, the flowers, and the magnificent trees themselves. A sense of what our country was covered in is a beautiful and valuable thing. Ernos Natanan, like the language, it's something that clothes us with a sense of spiritual identity. So, Guim Kogorticha Steve Asocht Urgudibre, you've done a brilliant job with this, and I'm looking forward to really checking it out, reading it, and spreading the word. This earth is it goes. Everybody knows it's just the most beautiful thing, but from the oxygen that we breathe and to all the living things. So stay well. Don't be afraid. Play music. Love each other, and Mashiv agus Gromor.
Thanks very much, Liam. The book is available from the Courthouse Arts Centre, as well as from the outlets listed at the end of this launch video. Thanks to all the contributors and to the project funders, the Arts Council and the Courthouse Arts Centre. Thanks to all of you for watching, and happy reading.